Today is all about MACD, and you're about to learn how to use it, how to fine-tune it, best strategies to use MACD, and how to get trading signals. And finally, the common mistakes that traders make using MACD. Hello, I'm Mike, and you're watching Passive Cashflow Academy. And by the way, subscribe to my channel and click on that bell icon. This way you won't miss the trading opportunities, and you will be notified as soon as I publish a video. Okay, today we're going to talk about MACD and the different ways that we can use it, how it works, and the trading strategies that we can have with the good signals, and probably the mistakes that most of the traders do. All right, let's put it on a chart. That's the standard MACD in MT4. As you can see, it's the difference between the two EMAs, 12 and 26, and the signal is 9 applied to close. So the colors are these, silver, and there are no levels. I normally add another moving average to the top of this MACD. As you can see, this is moving average 1, simple, and applied to the first indicator data, just to have this the envelope on top of the histogram to make it easier to read. So there are a couple of ways to use MACD. I put two moving averages up there on the chart. This is the 12 and that's the 26 EMA, just to show you the exact measurements of the MACD. So as you can see, whenever these two moving average cross, the histogram of the MACD moves above 0. So here, let me put a line there so you can see exactly what I'm saying. And whenever it crosses under 0, that means that the MACD, just the histogram crossed under 0. So these two moving averages cross, or the histogram of the MACD is the difference, the distance between these two moving averages, 12 and 26. That's the standard one. So the signal line is another moving average. It's a simple moving average of 9, the period 9. So whenever the histogram moves under, crosses this signal line and moves under this, it means that the market's gonna have probably correction, not a trend change. Okay, the trend changes whenever it's more reliable, whenever the histogram moves under 0 or above 0. But whenever we have this cross, but the histogram is above 0, probably you're gonna have a correction. That's the better way of trading MACD. So we have this small correction here and the market moves back up again. As you can see, market moves back up and the histogram starts rising, and finally it crosses above the signal line. It's too late to get a signal there. As you can see, market is moved for probably around 200 pips here. So it's not good to get a signal here. Probably when the histogram starts to rise, you can get a good signal after this one, and you would have 150, 160 pips profit. But I went to the MQL5 website and I downloaded a couple of other indicators to show you the different types of MACD that we have there. This one has a colored histogram. It's generally the same MACD, but whenever the histogram is rising, it's green, and whenever it's falling, it's gray. And when the histogram is under 0, whenever it's falling, it's red, and whenever it's rising, it gets gray. So it's generally the same MACD, but it's a little bit easier to read it. So you can get the signal very easier here. When the MACD histogram is above 0 and it's green, you can go long. You can open a buy position. And as soon as it turns gray, you should exit. So if you had entered there and you exited at this candle, probably you would have about 120 pips. But if you had a trailing stop, it was 300 pips move. So I don't know, if it's up to you how much you targeted. I normally put about twice the ATR. As you can see, the 100% of ATR is 107 pips. in the daily time frame. So if I had this trade, I would have closed it at 200 pips right there. So in less than 8 days, I had a trade. But yeah, it's up to you. Whenever it turns green again, you can enter, but with a smaller target, because the market has moved already. So you can have, I don't know, 1.5 times ATR, or maybe the same as ATR, 100 pips. In this case, market moved about 200 pips, but you could have 100 pips, and yeah, you would have a very good profit here after 2 days. And whenever the histogram turns red, as you can see now, the downtrend starts. So it's wise to not enter in a buy position. So you wait until the sell signal comes in. Maybe you can have one right now, or you wait when the market has a correction and enter there. I downloaded another MACD as well, this one, TET MACD indicator. You can find it in the MQL5 if you go and search. This one has more colors, as you can see, and 2 lines. This one is a little bit different, as the 2 previous MACDs, whenever the histogram crosses below the signal line, still the histogram is above 0, as you can see. But this one, at the same time, the histogram crosses under 0. So this one it has more signals, but it's more choppy. So it's up to you. What I mean is that there are different types of MACD indicators out there. So you have to search and find a good one for yourself. But this one is good whenever these 2 lines cross. Is when the histogram is turning in another direction. But it's wise to filter out these noises that this MACD produces, so you can get a very good signal. Now, we come to the point that what traders do make mistakes about when they use MACD. And that's when they're gonna enter in every single signal that the MACD produces. And that's not right. Every time that the histogram changes direction, or the histogram changes color in this case, you can enter, but if market is in this Euro New Zealand dollar, the market is trending upward, so you can see a very clear trend here. But if market was choppy, like, let's look at another one, like, I don't know, Euro USD here. What would you do now? Market is going up and down. Every time it goes up and down, histogram is still under 0, as you can see, for a long time. Every time that it produces signal, if I had entered in this one, the market only moves 50 pips. And even one time of ATR is 62 pips. So what? Even if it doesn't hit my one time ATR target and the market moves back down and hits my stop loss. So it's not good to enter on every single signal that MACD produces. You better filter it out with other signals. Like here you have 2 moving averages. You can have another one like a 50 that is a standard that everyone uses. So as long as the price is under 50, you only enter whenever it produces sell signal, or is above 50, you always enter whenever it produces buy signal, something like that. You cannot use MACD as a signal entries single alone. Okay, you must have it in conjunction with other indicators, and that's the mistake that all the other losing traders do, and they lose a lot. They give back whatever they get from the market. So be careful about that and find the best MACD that you can read. It's like buying a pair of shoes. You must find a good one for yourself. The standard MACD on MT4 probably is good for many of us, but some of us may use this one, which is more choppy, but it depends on what time frame you trade. But yeah, go to MQL5. There are lots of them. Some paid ones are very good as well. They color the histogram very beautifully, and you can trade very easily with that. So yeah, that was it for today. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have any questions, please go into the comment section below and ask your questions. If you need anything to know, please ask there and I will answer all the questions. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook page as well. I share a lot of things, a lot of trades that I make, a lot of news there, and you can get very updated news there as well. I hope this was useful and you can trade very easily with MACD. And yeah, that was it. See you next time.